Hart, in the context of what's going on, how enormous was Saturday night?
It was a good result for us. We needed to get our form back. Clearly our last 5 weeks have been pretty ordinary, so it was nice to play with the intent that got us the win. It wasn't perfect at times, it probably a little bit ugly as well, but we did what we had to do. We managed to kick 14 goals, which we haven't done for a while, and yeah, get the 4 points was most important.
Secure still shuffled you sideways a couple of times and you looked a little stagnant. Is there sort of a reason behind that? Is there a way to overcome that going forward?
They're allowed to defend as well, so they set up pretty well at times, and yeah, we're just looking for a way to really try and own the ball a little bit where we could, and look for that opportunity to then attack the game, which I think we did reasonably well at times. To kick 14 was pleasing. We can probably do it a little bit better, and we'll be working pretty hard at that.
Where do you think, what areas would you look at and say you could do them better?
Probably everywhere, to be honest. Our contest work was sound and pretty solid. We got beaten around clearances, which is something that we'll look at, especially against West Coast coming up with their midfield, so that's going to be an important one for us. Our ability to keep trying to move the footy, I think it's interesting at the moment, the way the competition is. Just not everyone's going flat stick and some are going slower, so we've just got to find the right balance for us at the moment. But I think what happened, it enabled us to sort of set the ground a little bit, and our team defence was pretty solid. So yeah, there's work in all areas really.
Forward pressure seemed to be up quite a bit. How big a focus was that?
Yep, always a focus, and it was it was a bit better. Yeah, we saw a bit more what we liked, and I think that had a little bit to do with our ability to get density in the right areas. So it's a catch-22. Sometimes you have density in the right areas, which means it's harder to score, but then you can also put good pressure on. So it's great to see Eddie up and about, especially earlier. I thought he set the tone for us. He was fantastic, and Lockie Murphy's another one, Richard Douglas, they all chimed in at certain times. So yeah, that's something that we'll have to try and keep that level.
Was it just Eddie being Eddie, or do you think there was a little bit of fire in the belly after spending a week in the studio?
Oh, well, Eddie does Eddie things, but I hope it was a little bit of fire in the belly as well. And I think what we saw was the pride of the group as well. So not only just Eddie, but the whole group. There's a bit of pride in their performance. And like I said, not pretty, but they certainly attacked the game with the intent that we wanted them to.
7 goals for Tex in the past fortnight. He's been under a lot of fire, but
yeah,
pretty good number. Has he turned a corner, do you think?
Yeah, I think he's worked really hard at his game this year, and it hasn't gone all his way from time to time. But one thing he has done is he's continued to try and compete and try and learn during the week to get better. And I thought we saw some really good attributes of that coming out, and his ability to get on the end of some footy and finish the goals really well. So really pleased for him.
Benny, some speculation this morning, about Josh Jenkins' future, and that he had a run-in with Don Pike last week and was going to clear his locker out and all this sort of stuff. After being dropped, your thoughts?
Didn't have a run-in. He had a conversation about not playing on the weekend, but he's contracted for 2 more years, and I'm assuming that he's going to be around, so hopefully he will be. And wherever he plays this week, whether it'll be AFL or SANFL, he'll go and do the things we're asking him to and do them to the best of his ability. But I don't think we've seen the last of Josh.
So no confrontation?
No.
Yeah. No. Moving forward, where does he sit? Obviously, a couple of years to go in his contract, as you said. Obviously, the team played pretty well on the weekend. Where's he at for this weekend, the rest of the year?
Yeah, well, that will be a discussion for match committee going forward. But like I say, wherever he plays, it's an all-rounded game that we're after from him. So his ability to compete ahead of the footy, to hit the scoreboard, which he's done okay, to chime in the team defence and the contest work. So that won't change no matter what level he plays, and hopefully he can do that.
Does he accept that?
Yeah.
So his mindset's pretty good?
Yeah, no, he's been fine, and we saw that during the year as well when he went back and out of the side. He actually did those things really well. That's why he forced his way back in. So we just need that consistent level from him. So again, starts at training, but whatever level he does play at, that'll be what we're after.
Alex Keith?
Yeah, should be right to go, and that was always the plan going forward, to give him a couple of weeks off to get that ankle right. So obviously a little bit dictated by how he trains, but the plan was to bring him back in for this game.
That'd be pretty handy given the gun forwards that West Coast have got.
Yeah, they're pretty potent forward line, aren't they? So they've got some great players, and I think they went through a period on the weekend where they went in 9 times and kicked 7 goals or something like that. So they're as good a forward line going around, and we'll probably need our guys to be right on the middle, and having Alex in and playing well would be great.
How tough is this challenge? Obviously, West Coast are now joint flag favourite with Richmond over there. How do you approach this contest?
Yeah, there's probably no bigger challenge in the game right now, and we have to approach it with a real vigour in the way we want to play. We have to be aware of how they play as well. Like they do control the footy, and they like to keep the ball out of an opposition's hand. So we have to win enough of it to then to get it and use it pretty smartly against them. We've seen what McGovern and Barras and guys like that can do behind the ball. But first and foremost, we have to be up for the contest. I think last time we played them over here, our contest was pretty strong until maybe that last quarter where they just got ahead of us in that space. So that'll be number one for us, and hopefully we can get enough of the ball.
So it can't be dictated to, especially against a team like that.
No, I mean if you just allow them to play the way they want to play, then it's going to be really hard because you won't get the ball off them, and as they've proven when they do control the game, they score pretty well. So they've got some dangerous forwards, as we've mentioned. So yeah, we've got to go out and do our stuff.
Is it a chance to give Rob a rest, perhaps, coming off a pretty brutal couple of months for him?
Yeah, he's been great, hasn't he? Yeah. But look, he's probably got shaded a little bit on the weekend, but at the same time, some of his follow-up work and contested ball stuff is still pretty strong. So we'll look at that during the week. I know we've got Sam ready and ready to go, and itching to get back in the side, and so we'll look at that over the course of the week and see how Rob pulls up and see what the best mix is for us.
How many are you likely to take, and they're going to go, sort of Don said, you might go early, you think like a Thursday sort of thing?
Yeah, some of the guys and possibly the older ones go a little bit earlier just so they can get over and settle. At this stage we'll probably take, I'm probably about 25 maybe, I'm not 100% sure, depending on who we need to play back here as well. So, but we'll have a squad ready to go and take them on.
No sample game, does that work in Sauce's favour? Be fresh and ready to...
Yeah, hopefully. Look, it's a bit of a shame sometimes with the scheduling that they can't all play on the weekend, but it may for some guys be beneficial to get a bit of a break. So, but a lot of it will come down to how we train.
And for Josh, does that make it less likely that he could come back into the team given he hasn't played a game?
Yeah, not necessarily. No, we've always said that because of knowing the nature of the scheduling, that training is really important for you, for everyone. So if we think he's best for us to have him back in the side to help us win the game, then that'll happen.
And Fogarty's performance on the weekend, obviously didn't get a heap of the 40, but I guess when you can produce that 55-metre goal like he did, it just shows his quality. Yeah,
a few more of those would be nice. But no, he was great. I thought to come in for your first game, he's waited a long time for it. And the great thing about Darcy as a young kid is his ability to compete on the ball. He's still learning the game, obviously, but competed when it was really needed, stood up in some big moments for us. I thought he came at the ball really well, especially early, and then to finish off that goal was very nice for him. So pleased with what he did.
Ben, overall, if you look at the competition being so close, like literally every goal's counting, does that play on the coaching team at all? The idea that we just can't afford to concede 2 easy goals at the end of the game, or we need to kick a couple of more?
Well, yes, you never like to give up scores, but it's probably not something that you're really aware of in the heat of the battle, as in we don't want to give this one up, or we need to shut things down now. That's the aim all the time, I guess. But right now for us it was about getting 4 points on the board, and that'll continue. And we're sitting in the 8, but there's a lot of work to do, and there's no better challenge for us right now, I think. So no, we're really looking forward to it. As far as the exact numbers, we sort of let them take care of themselves.
How far off do you think? Like, yes, you won on the weekend, and as you said, look, you think to improve. But I mean, how far off are you from your best?
Well, over the last 5 weeks, we've been a long way off. I thought we saw some really strong signs on the Gold Coast game, obviously, and I thought we saw some really strong signs on the weekend. So I think there's been a real clarity around how we want to go about it with the playing group and from the coaching group. So things can go wrong pretty quickly in this game, but things can also turn right pretty quickly. So, and I think we're closer to the second part of that.
Would that St Kilda performance, would that beat West Coast?
Don't know. Some of it would, some of it probably wouldn't. But look, like I say, there's things to work on, and hopefully we can improve in that over the next week before we take them on. But some of the stuff we're really happy with.
Can fans be a little bit impatient? There was some, I don't know if you noticed it, there was some booing with the ball movement in the first half. Can fans be a little bit...
Maybe. They're like anyone, really. They want us to win and perform and go forward and kick goals, where if it was that easy all the time, then we'd be doing it too. I mean, we're the same. We want to perform, the game's not perfect though, never is, and like I mentioned at the start, other teams are allowed to defend you, and some defend you pretty well. And like I've mentioned as well, like there's so many things we can do better and continue to improve, and that's what we'll be doing every day. But to be, like I mentioned also, to be able to kick 14 goals and take a win after this last month, I'd be pretty happy.
Hey, what's the cut-off point for assistants for 2020 when you guys sort of get together and discuss what happens?
Yeah, there's been conversations since about July, one-on-ones, etc. So normally by around August, guys will have to know what's going on. So one, they can either go and explore or get things signed away at the club they're at.
Where are you at?
Yeah.
I've had those discussions. So going forward, love to stay, and that looks like it'll be on the cards. But we'll wait and see what folds out.
You're pretty positive about the Crows with your...
Oh, I am. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely.